My name is Kush. I studied at IIT Madras, and after that I did my research at Harvard Medical School, and I specialized in the field of neuroscience. And I didn't believe in God. Not in a casual way. I mean actually worked to disprove spiritual experiences. Then one night, driving at 120 miles per hour on a highway in America, I saw my own death. Not through my own eyes, through someone else's. And that changed everything. This is the story of how an atheist engineer became a believer. How a book written in 1945 became my guide in 2025. And how I'm going to spend the next year showing you that ancient wisdom isn't just beautiful poetry. It's practical manual for your actual life. Let's start at the beginning. I was a graduate student. My wife Kritika and I had been living in Boston, married for about 6 months. We were living in a small apartment, surviving on my tiny stipend, taking public transit everywhere, saving every dollar we can. I had a very specific worldview at that time. If science can't explain it, it doesn't exist. And if you can explain it with science, why would you need God? That was my framework. Clean, logical, and safe. One day, Kritika told me she wanted to go to something called a Satsang. I had no idea what that was. She explained, it is a spiritual gathering. There's someone called Guruji who people gather to, and they sit there, they listen to Gurbani Shabad, eat langar, they do meditation. I said, no, absolutely not. First of all, I don't believe in God, man. Second, I don't believe in God. Third, this sounds like a cult. But she went anyway. And that's when my research mode kicked in. While she was at Satsang, I went to Google. I searched who is Guruji. I found a Quora thread. It had all the negative stuff. Cult acquisition, skeptic takes, critical analysis. I started liking each and every answer, thinking I found my content. Then I found YouTube videos of all people sharing their testimonies. Babies born without uterus, magical healings, miracles, and I documented everything. I printed it all out. I prepared my case so that I can talk to my wife. When she came home, I presented my research. Look at this. This is classic cult behavior. Mass psychology, confirmation bias. You are being manipulated. At that time, there was a news about a tragedy in Delhi, the Burari case, where 11 members of a same family died in what seemed like a ritual. I used even that too. I said, see, this is what happens when people follow blindly. She had a very simple answer. She said, I don't care what you have found. I found peace there and I am going back. And then she showed me pictures of the food they had served her. Samosas, gulab jamun, rajma, full Indian meals. And I was a broke graduate student who loved free food. So the next week, she told me they are going to have a grand meal. Come and eat. You don't have to do anything. Just sit in the back and they will give all the food to you. I went. I walked into that satsang with one goal. Eat and leave. They gave me samosas, tea, gulab jamun, jalebi, everything I loved. I sat in the back. Everyone had their eyes closed. Music was playing Gurbani, which I didn't really understand. I had nothing to do, so I closed my eyes too. and something strange started happening. It was like a chat GPT in my mind activated. I would ask a question about my research, about my career, about a problem I was stuck on, and instantly an answer would come. And that answer would not be from me. I mean, it felt like it bypassed my whole thinking process. I thought to myself, this is interesting. If I come here, I get free food, free ride, and answers to all my problems. So that kept me going. Week after week, for the food and for the answers. But I still wouldn't say Guruji. Whenever I would enter, I would say hi, namaste. During the mantra jap, which used to play at the end, when everyone used to chant Om Namah Shivaya, Shivji Sada Sahai, Om Namah Shivaya, Guruji Sada Sahai, I would only say the first part. I refused to say Guruji Sada Sahai. My ego was still intact. And then one day, Guruji decided to shatter it. At that time, immigration in the United States was uncertain. We were thinking about moving to Canada. And as some of you might be aware, to apply for Canadian permanent residency, you need to pass a language exam. I had taken CELTIP twice and I failed both times. Not because my English was bad, I couldn't figure out what was missing. And I kept scoring low in the writing section. One day, I was sitting in Satsang with my eyes closed. I asked my Guruji GPT, what should I do? And the answer came instantly. Book an IELTS exam. I booked the IELTS exam in Tampa, Florida immediately. I didn't question the message. I booked the exam and we flew to Tampa. The night before the exam, the voice told me exactly which essay topic to prepare, which letter format to study. I told my wife that I have gotten the message about the topic. She said, that's impossible. There are hundreds of topics. How would you know what is going to come in the exam? I said, I just know. Trust me. The next day, I walk into that exam hall, and during the listening section where the speakers are blaring and you are writing down the answers, what they are saying to you, something happened. From deep inside my heart, I started saying, Om Namah Shivaya, Guruji Sada Sahai. I tried to suppress that voice with all of my will. I thought to myself, I don't say that part. I only say Om Namah Shivaya, Shivji Sada Sahai. But I couldn't stop it. It kept coming. It was as if it is coming from inside. And then, after the listening exam, came the writing section. The exact essay topic I had prepared. The exact letter format that I had prepared. The probability of such thing to happen is 1 in million. It's as good as winning $1 million lottery. I aced that exam, and from that day forward, I started saying Guruji. But I still didn't fully believe. I still had that scientific bent of mind. I thought it was luck, coincidence. My brain was playing tricks with me. Then Guruji showed me something I couldn't explain away. In Boston, in the first week of September, you move apartment. We had just moved apartments and a fellow Satsang uncle had offered to drive us to New Jersey for something called Amrit Vela. It's a special early morning Satsang which happens during the early hours between 4 to 5 a.m. It was a 5 to 6 hours drive. We left Boston at around 10:30 p.m. The plan was to reach by 3:45 a.m. before the satsang started. As we were running a little late, the uncle who was driving was determined. He was driving at 120 miles per hour, way over the speed limit, so that we can reach on time. Our ETA was showing 4:21 a.m. Another uncle who was sitting in the front seat told us, "Wear your seat belt, he's driving really fast." Then as soon as we reached Connecticut, we saw the lights of the cop. We got pulled over. This was the first cop stop of the uncle who was driving the car. He was from Delhi and he didn't know the rules. He unbuckled the seat belt and started to step out of the car in order to talk to the officer who had stopped us. As soon as he was stepping outside the car, the cop yelled, "Get back inside the car or I'll shoot you." He got back in. The cop came to the window and said, "If you hadn't gotten back in, I would have pulled the trigger." We were just 1 second away from witnessing a death. The cop gave us a warning and a small ticket. He could have done anything at that point of time. He could have impounded the car, suspended the driving license, but he didn't. We started driving again. We reached New Jersey Temple at exactly 4:21 a.m. The exact ETA we had at the start, despite speeding, despite everything. We all walked into the satsang, all four of us, bowed in front of Guruji's seat. And as soon as we came back to sit in front of Guruji, all of us started crying. And for 45 minutes straight, we couldn't stop crying. When the satsang ended, we looked at each other. We started hugging each other. And we started narrating to each other. I had seen a vision when I bowed my head. I saw the uncle who was driving the car dead at the police stop. His head was separated from the body. My wife saw me dead at the same spot. Body and head separate. The third uncle saw himself dead, beheaded. All three of us saw different deaths at the same moment, at the same place, at the same time when we bowed our head in front of Guruji's seat. That's when I understood. We were supposed to die on that highway. Guruji saved us. That's when I understood. We were supposed to die on that highway. Guruji stopped us. Guruji brought us to that satsang and gave all of us new lives. That was the first time I said thank you. Not for the success, not for the answers, not for the food, but for the life itself. That was 7 years ago. Since then, Guruji has taken me through hell and back. Literal hell. I'll share that story in the next episode. But through it all, he guided me to a book, Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda. Written in 1945, but it explained everything I was experiencing in 2018, 2020 and 2025. The miracles, the test, the suffering, the healing, the purpose. The book became my roadmap. And that's what this video series is about. For the next year, I'm going to walk with you through that book. I'm going to walk you through that book, chapter by chapter, story by story, but not like a literature class. I'm going to show you how a story written in 1920s India applies to your life in 2025. How an engineer's mind can embrace faith without abandoning logic. How suffering isn't random, it's part of the plan. How miracles aren't fairy tales. They are real and they are waiting for you. I'm not a guru. I'm not enlightened either. I am still learning. And you might be ahead on this life path. But I want to share what I have found. If you are a skeptic, good. I was too. If you are suffering, I have been there. If you are searching, I'm still searching with you. Next week, I'll share the darkest chapter of my life. 18 months where I questioned everything, where I wanted to end it all. And how Guruji healed me in a way that science said was impossible. Till then, try this. Close your eyes for 5 minutes today. Just sit, don't force anything, and ask one question you have been struggling with. Then while your eyes are closed, listen. Listen to the divine voice. You might be surprised what answers come. If this resonated with you, hit subscribe. Drop a comment and I read every single one. And if you know someone who is searching, who is skeptical, who needs to hear this, share this with them. This isn't just my journey, it's ours. Jai Guruji, Shukrana Guruji. See you in the next episode.